Geneva hosts overlapping high-stakes talks on Iran's nuclear file and Ukraine's war. Thursday, 26th of February 2026. Friday, 27th of February 2026. Geneva is once again the setting for consequential diplomacy as two separate negotiation tracks unfold simultaneously under the direction of the same U.S. envoys. On Thursday, 26th of February, extending into Friday, 27th of February, American representatives are engaged in parallel discussions, one focused on Iran's nuclear program, the other on Ukraine's war and a post-conflict framework. The linkage is operational rather than thematic. Steve Witkoff, President Trump's special envoy, and Jared Kushner, senior advisor to President Trump, are managing both files. Their dual role places them at the center of two of the most volatile geopolitical crises currently active: U.S.-Iran nuclear negotiations. The third round of indirect U.S.-Iran negotiations is underway in Geneva, mediated by Oman. Witkoff and Kushner represent Washington. Iran's delegation is led by Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi, a seasoned nuclear negotiator with what Tehran describes as full authority to pursue an agreement that prevents nuclear weaponization while securing sanctions relief. The structure remains indirect, with Omani intermediaries relaying proposals between delegations. The agenda centers on sanctions rollback, uranium enrichment ceilings, verification protocols, and sequencing. Washington is pressing for enforceable caps and intrusive inspections. Tehran seeks phased sanctions relief aligned with reciprocal compliance steps. After extended exchanges on Thursday, both sides paused to consult their capitals before resuming discussions. Iranian officials have signaled very serious progress in public remarks, projecting guarded optimism. Western officials remain more restrained, noting that gaps persist on technical thresholds and enforcement architecture. The talks proceed against a visible security backdrop. U.S. naval and air assets have been reinforced in the Gulf, a posture framed by Washington as deterrence, but interpreted by Tehran as strategic pressure. Diplomacy and military signaling are unfolding in parallel. Neither side appears prepared to terminate the channel outright. The current phase reflects a calculated attempt to determine whether structured compromise remains viable under conditions of limited trust. U.S.-Ukraine strategic consultations. Running concurrently in Geneva are consultations between the United States and Ukraine intended to prepare the ground for broader negotiations that could eventually involve Russia. Ukraine's delegation is led by Rustem Umerov, Secretary of the National Security and Defense Council. He is meeting with the same U.S. representatives, Witkoff and Kushner, underscoring Washington's consolidated handling of both theaters. Russia is not present at this stage. Overnight Thursday, as talks resumed Friday, Ukraine reported 420 drones and 39 missiles launched across multiple regions. The escalation sharpened the contrast between diplomatic dialogue and battlefield reality. Moscow has publicly maintained a no-deadlines position regarding negotiations, signaling resistance to externally imposed timetables. That stance highlights the disconnect between preparatory diplomacy in Geneva and Russia's continued operational tempo. The Geneva discussions are focused on post-war stabilization frameworks, reconstruction financing, territorial administration, and a potential long-term economic package designed to anchor Ukraine's recovery. President Volodymyr Zelensky spoke with President Trump shortly before the meetings to align positions. No trilateral configuration has yet been convened. Bilateral groundwork is widely regarded as a precursor to any structured multi-party engagement. One city, two flashpoints. Geneva now hosts two high-consequence diplomatic efforts, coordinated by the same envoys. In one forum, negotiators debate enrichment levels, sanctions architecture, and inspection regimes tied to nuclear risk. In another, they assess sovereignty, reconstruction pathways, and the conditions under which a European war might transition towards structured negotiation. The common denominator is a de-escalation play. In the Gulf, the objective is to prevent nuclear escalation while avoiding direct confrontation. In Eastern Europe, the aim is to explore whether battlefield dynamics can eventually shift into negotiated structure. The risks remain acute. Failure in the Iran track could intensify nuclear brinkmanship in the Middle East. Stagnation in the Ukraine channel risks entrenching prolonged high-intensity conflict on Europe's eastern frontier. For now, both processes remain fluid. Geneva has become an operational hub where parallel crises are being managed in real time by the same diplomatic hands under mounting global scrutiny. Geneva, nuclear caps in one room, drone war in the next, same two Americans running both. A heartfelt light. To every soul whose hand did give, you've helped me dream, helped me live. In darkest hours your light came through, with hearts so kind, so pure, so true. Your gifts, like stars in deepest night, have steered me gently toward the light. Each coin, each word, each silent prayer, a thread of hope so rich, so rare. My eyes once dimmed now seek the skies, and slowly clearer visions rise. Because of you, I dare to see the world again. Its grace, its plea. Your compassion's flame will not just stay with me alone. It lights the way for others wandering through despair to feel the warmth of selfless care. You've shown what love in action means, in quiet ways through giving scenes. You've built a bridge from soul to soul and made the broken feel more whole. So let this thanks rise like a song, a melody both soft and strong. May your example gently call more hearts to rise to give. To fall into the joy of lifting pain, of planting hope where none remains. Your kindness walks beside me still, a light, a love, a living will.
Don't forget to hit that subscribe button to show your support.